Freedom Star. Freedom. Freedom Star.
Yeah.
Freedom. Freedom Star.
It's right here. It's epic.
Freedom Star.
You ready? Let's rock.
Freedom. Freedom Star.
Stars.
Freedom Star. Freedom Star. Freedom Star. Freedom Star.
I got some things on my mind. Let me talk till I'm free. Mental therapy, whatever you wanna call it. There's been some things bothering me. I gotta break free. Time for me to finish what I started. I got my heart in it. Standing on 2 feet, 10 toes deep. Baby steps coming through, stumping hard. Whoever your God, whatever your beliefs, lifestyles retreat. This is the place where we all meet. We talking freedom. You best believe it. Energy from the stars, we receive it. Advice, some words ain't always nice. Suggestions, making statements, playing, saying, chiming, vibing, frequency high. Spirit contact, emotional climax. Forgiving, not forgetting, divine energy. Balance within, no path, ink pens. Pull out a check, come on, let's chat for a minute. I'm here.
Freedom Star. Freedom Star. Freedom Star. Freedom Star. We're talking freedom. We need it. Eyes on the prize. We see it. We're rocking freedom. We believe it. Ain't no stopping us now. Let's believe it.
The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. Freedom stars.
Freedom. Freedom Star. Freedom Star. Freedom Star. Freedom Star.
What's up?
Good day.
How everybody doing? Welcome to Freedom Stars.
Freedom Stars.
Today is Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I am Steve Osborne,
Kevin Upson.
and welcome. We was trying to get this done earlier, but we was doing a lot of other things, and we managed to get around to doing it, and I'm thankful. We supposed to be 10 podcasts already made, but it'd be a lot going on, and as y'all can see, we're very consistent with our posting. So we've been running a lot of errands, we've been doing garden work. It's been a lot of variation of things going on. We got an awesome topic today. Our topic today is chivalry dead? Kev usually has the shovel first and he digs in and scoops it out.
Let's see. We're talking about the old school holding the door open for a female.
Yeah.
For women, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly still catch myself doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just something that I was instilled. It was instilled in me as a kid. But I be selective. I be very selective. If I see as a woman with children, if I see a woman with her hands full, and I would say now that the times I've done it, 8% of the time, 80% of the time, as a female, as a woman that's saying thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare now that because like I said, I'm selective what I do. Before I was doing it, I was getting upset because I was doing it and I wasn't getting thank you. So I stopped, and then like when I started doing it again, I'd be if you're selective with it, you can almost tell the females from the women. So I only hold doors open for women. So yeah, I've been very selective with it. But brothers, I don't have no problem holding the door open for a brother, especially if I see his hands full. And they always, I'll say 99.9 times, if you hold the door open for a guy, he's gonna say thank you. I have never held the door open for a guy. He just walked through the door and didn't say nothing. But for some reason with these females, they, it's like you're supposed to do it. Yeah. But I only hold the doors open for women, and I have to say, it's been improvements with the women that I've been holding the door open. They have been thanking me. Little girls, they always be because they're young. They're not indoctrinated in that mess yet. But for the most of it, it is going away because you have too many hard females now, and then on top of that, a lot of the guys are changing as well because they're conforming into something that's different. These young guys, anyway, especially the ones you be hearing, they're always saying, "Oh, my mama." Okay. Like, I don't ever remember coming out of my mouth with somebody I'm so angry, "Oh, my mama."
Yeah, because it puts me in the mind of like when people say they swear to God. So it's like they put
I know, I've heard people say, I put that on everything. But not coming up, I've never heard a guy say, "Oh, my mama." Yeah. Then, that was like one of the sacred things. You never talk about your mother. You don't let nobody talk about your mom. Back coming up, that was like that was words to fight. You mention somebody's mother,
yeah.
And then you're not gonna. The last thing you're gonna do is mention your mother in a street setting.
Well, to answer your question, when you was asking about was it like chivalry to women before you started? So this is what it's saying: chivalry for a woman is a modern context. It's a code of honor emphasizing respect, kindness, and strength, extending beyond gender specific roles to embody courage, fairness, and care for others. It acts as a set of high standard, considerate behaviors that, regardless of gender, prioritizes integrity, courtesy, and protecting the vulnerable. So what this is saying is that it's going beyond that.
Okay, that's
so
good.
Times
that
have changed, yeah. So it's saying key aspects of modern chivalry for women: reciprocity. Women can exhibit chivalrous actions such as showing care, respect, and protection rather than just being the recipients of it.
I can say I have had some women hold the door open for me.
And look, you just said that active courtesy. This includes acts of considerations like holding doors, offering assistance, or showing kindness to others in daily life. I agree with you. I'm happy that I read that. I didn't know I was gonna read that. When y'all see us do stuff in here, stuff be real time. I believe that chivalry should go beyond gender because the way a lot of us men who are men now, but we were boys when we were younger that were raised by females, by our moms, our grandmas, our aunties. We had older girl cousins and, sisters, etc., etc. I think that the majority of the men that are raised by women are shaped to be how the women want them to be, regardless of how the boys should be. And that included being there, being consistent, and being on the front line for women, opening the doors, pulling out the chairs, all of those things. I was one of those people, you know what I'm saying? And it's just that as I gotten older, I had to change because I found myself, like you saying, holding doors and all of that. And it got to the point where females we could be at the post office, with the timing, you might be walking towards the door and there might be a female walking towards the door. And a lot of times, I think in a lot of cases, what I see and what I have noticed, because I study so much, the female usually does something at a pace. It's a timing thing to where you'll end up at the door at the same time. Either she'll speed up her walk to catch up with you, or whatever the case may be. Or if you walking slow, she might walk slow enough. But for me, they not finna hold the door. So whatever that timing is, they do it right in enough time for the man to hold the door. And I never had a problem with that, but it's a form of inconsideration and it's a form of disrespect when a female has a man hold the door for her and she just walks in and that's it. I expect to thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all,
courtesy, you say thank you. If somebody do something for you, they don't have to. They extending themselves out too.
Yeah, because in most cases,
that should be natural.
Yeah, in most cases, whoever this is, I'm at the post office or wherever we at, I'm holding the door for. More than likely, I don't know this person. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not obligated to hold the door for this person. But they got this thing called being a gentleman. But I don't want to say chivalry is dead, but I want to say that chivalry has its blinders taken off. Chivalry's blinders are taken off. Chivalry is no longer blindfolded.
90% of the time, Anglo, Spanish, Latino, or Indian woman would say thank you.
I agree with you 1,000%. It's usually women of other races, but for some reason, when it comes to black women, they walk in, no thank you. It's like they know the door is open, but they do this thing where they don't acknowledge you like they supposed to.
Yeah, but not only do they walk in with attitude. Yeah,
like it was owed to them as a form of entitlement. Like you supposed to be doing this. Like I'm a queen. And it's just crazy, and I just had to stop. Now I don't try to hold the door for nobody. And like you said, men always say thank you, because there's sometimes where you might be walking to a door at the same time as a man, and to me, whoever get there first, hold the door for each other. And it ain't gotta be nothing gay about it. It is what it is. It's a man holding the door for another man. Every time I've done that, I've always been told thank you. Have a nice day. I appreciate that. Just good words to make you feel good about what you did. If it was the same thing with men, then I won't hold the door open up for them either. You know.
We have to say, because we know Africa is big, but Africa is not big to have so many kings and queens.
Yeah, that's another thing we're gonna have a topic on. Me and Kev agreed that
every male was a king and every female was a queen. Where's the knights and
just your common people?
Then the common people, but then the royalty of it's
a hierarchy, a type of a hierarchy, like a type of a chain of command.
You have a king, you have a knight, you have a bishop. There's just like the chessboard.
Mm-hmm. But because we're gonna have an episode on that about everybody calling black women queens, and I think some people they eating it up, and it's transforming them into something that's not good, because like you said, every black female can't be a queen, and I hear this all the time. And I hear some podcasters, oh, my beautiful black queen, and then they get in this this no. It's not wrong with being a regular person. Regular people do magnificent, wonderful things. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all know what it embodies to be a queen? That's a very hard job. It's not just a sign of beauty. You know what I'm saying?
And a king.
Yeah, if being a king, then that's another thing. We hear a lot of men calling men kings. Everybody can't be a king. Everybody can't be a queen. There's nothing wrong with being a regular person or having another position. And then what happened with the prince and the princess? Yeah. Now what that is, a lot of people call their daughters their princess. And then what happens, what I've seen with that, it makes that girl rotten. And I know people feel good about their daughters. People feel good about having their kids, but the little girls, a lot of them that I've seen being called princess, as they get older, they be rotten. And then it'd be hard for a man to keep up with whatever. If this little girl was raised with her father in her life, he's made it impossible for other men to keep up with what he did for his daughter. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. And I think chivalry is still around, but I think it's become a selective thing, because we are now living in days and times where a lot of men have become woke. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men have opened their eyes, and a lot of men are no longer blinded by those old set of standards that, oh, you know, if a woman is this and this is that, and it just always put females in this area where they were above everything and where they didn't have to accept accountability for anything. And if it was something that she did wrong, they say it's a woman's prerogative, you know, just all of these different things. And it's imbalance. It's imbalance. It's crazy. And like I've seen it, I'm pretty sure it's in your family because it's in my family. I think it's in everybody's family. It's just wild. But yeah, I don't think chivalry is dead. I just think the blindfolders have been taken off, and I think a lot of men that were a certain way, I think a lot of men broken out of a lot of old-fashioned ways, because now we in new days where women, they are equal to men.
Supposed to be.
And yeah, they want to be equal to men. So how imbalanced can it be in a system of where you're an empowered woman, you know, you got your PhD, your master's degree, you driving nice, you living nice, you paying your own bills, you cut your own grass and all of that, but still you want men to hold doors for you or pull chairs out for you, but you want to be. It's really confusing the way things are nowadays.
I have seen some women cutting their own lawns. I have seen it.
Yeah, when we be riding around, sometimes we be saying that. So it's like, to me, if you put yourself in a position of being equal to a man in your mind, in your spirit, in your energy, then those things that women get, it doesn't necessarily have to apply to you. Like you said, it's a female and then you got a woman. Females are like more, they're born with the gender of being a female. A woman is a whole vibe.
She embodies that femininity.
A woman is just nurturing, and it's just everything is tender and warm and mild and understanding. Loving, that's a woman. Caring. Yeah, she's gentle. Nurturing. Yeah, and her eye contact is just is easy. It ain't no gung ho like, I'm finna challenge you. I'm finna compete with you. A woman bows out of an argument. Real women, they don't even argue. When you a woman, you got people that'll stand up for you because they know the nature of who you are. But what I see in today's society, in today's world, even with that example we had when my father's one of his ex-wives came to pick him up, she was on the front line and they were behind her. That's not a woman.
Not only that,
that's a female.
The mouthpiece on her was like a street dude.
Yeah, women, they don't even curse. You know what I'm saying? Women are gentle.
She was beyond just cursing. She sounded like a street, doing all of this.
Yeah, that ain't no woman.
Yeah, all that. She was.
So that was an example.
She was gangster.
And then she was hood.
Yeah.
she was about that life. But that's an example of someone that's not a woman or a lady. That's a female, born female by gender. But it might feel good when women pick up that gun-ho masculine energy, but
it's definitely ain't ladylike.
It's not. It ain't a good look. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely ain't ladylike.
It ain't a good look.
They didn't have the nerves, but to have son there, they have to call that mother.
And I'm happy you said that.
Grandchildren have to call that grandma.
Yeah, and then you got grandkids. Yeah, because what happens in those cases in today's society is like the woman is the king. You know, where you got a complete family where the man is there, the mama there, and the kids. The woman is the king and everything revolves around her. You know what I'm saying? They say happy wife, happy life and stuff like that. So the thing about that, whether it's in a full family where the mother and father is together and whether it's in a single mother household, when you have women in dominance, that creates submissive men. So for that woman to be the queen or the king of the household, that one that everybody circulates around, that means that her husband has to submit himself to her in order to make her happy. And if the husband submit himself to her, guess what the son's doing? Same thing. And if it ain't no man in the picture, it's an automatic. it's an automatic that you know your mom is that one. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this society that we live in is imbalanced, and we call it out for what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it just I don't know. But yeah, I'm not quick to hold doors. Cause it puts a bad feeling inside me, like, oh, I just held the door for this, you know what? Cause you get mad. I just held the door for this, you know what? And they just kept walking. And every time it happens with Anglo women, how I told y'all that timing be when you walk into the door. I've seen it with my moms with Anglo women. A lot of them will speed up to open the door and open it they've opened the doors for me. You know what I'm saying? For Kev, like it's just something different with the races. Where, to me, what I've experienced in this life is that Anglo women, they meet you on a more level ground. But with black women, when they meet you, it's like they up here and you down here. And you can be older than them. You know what I'm saying? It's just, yeah, it's crazy. Walmart, I don't know if you remember, we was on this aisle. It was the detergent aisle. This chick was coming out, heavyset chick was coming out, and we were passing by on that aisle. She expected me to stop so that she can go, but I was already to the point where I was going to be past her. She said, "Whoop!" Like, she made it,
Yeah, I heard it. I remember that.
I'm like, I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? And more than likely, if I would have stopped, she was going to turn the corner and just keep on keeping on. I don't get told thank you, and I don't know what that is. It's just crazy. It was just crazy. And my grandma, you know, shaped me to be the person I am when it came to dealing with women. So I was that, yes, ma'am, I was that holding the door. And that's something else. Go ahead.
The little young girl with the nails, she asked you to get a water for her in that store.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were in, that was Publix. And there was a young lady, the timing was crazy again. She seen us, she timed that. So, yeah, we just came in Publix. We were going to the deli to go get the vegan subs. So this young lady that works for the
But she was nice about it.
Yeah, she was.
She said thank you.
Yeah, she worked for the when people come and pick up their order, they just sit in a parking space, and then the employees bring the food out and put it in their trunk. So she had all of the other stuff in a buggy, but she had a case of water. So with the timing, she came to us and she was like, "Oh, sorry, could I please ask you for a favor? You know, would you put that case of water in the buggy?" So I put the case of water in the buggy, and I was just joking off. I said, "You weak?" You know what I'm saying? She was like, "Nah, she did this, and she had her nails freshly done." So it was like, yeah, she was nice about it. But yeah, we was laughing that off.
And also smiled. And
Yeah,
said,
she was.
you.
Yeah, she was warm.
Called
And yeah,
you, sir.
Yeah, it wasn't like no entitled thing. She asked nicely. Yeah, I guess she knew. You know, she's like, okay, they old heads now. But yeah, she asked nicely, and she was saying, "Sir." And I seldomly get called sir. That was the next thing I was going to talk about. So now, I don't use the word ma'am loosely because I feel like that's a term of respect. It's a term of endearment. If I'm talking to somebody now, I just say straight up yes or straight up no or whatever. Because what I notice, I study everything. It can be a business call. You could be on the phone with the light company or the water company or your cell phone company or whoever. And there's this thing where me and Kel both do. We could be on the phone with a female and, you know, they'll be asking you information or whatever. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Never do I get called sir. So it's like what I've learned, and this is in person as well as on the phone. When, from my energy and from my point of view, when I say yes, ma'am, that automatically puts that female above me. I feel it in their energy. I see it in their eyes when I'm in face to face with them. Never do they call me sir back. When I deal with a man, a male, and it could be face to face communication or it can be on the phone. One of us gonna throw it out, yes sir, and we just keep on passing it back, and it builds you up. He's like, okay, he's showing me respect. I gotta give this back. It's a yes sir. You know what I'm saying?
For some reason, it's been that way forever.
Yeah.
You're never gonna have a podcast where you hear somebody saying, you know what, that's just been so disrespected from guys nowadays. Nobody said thank you. Nobody say sir. You know, but I've yet to have that problem.
Yeah.
Even from a lot of these young guys, they still have some manners to say sir.
Mm-hmm. And that'd be amazing when young guys do it, because it's like, who trained you? Who taught you?
Serious.
Yeah.
And they, no matter if their pants sagging and everything, they'll still say sir.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. But young females, other than that, the one from Publix, I seldomly get called sir.
It has to be the
by
like
young
working,
females.
some of the working young ladies.
Yeah. It's crazy though. It's these new days, like
they're breeding different different people out here.
And when I say chivalry has taken its blindfolds off, there's a lot of men that are awakened. They're here, they focus. Then there's a lot of men that's not. Them the ones that just go with the flow. And I think they call them like simps and different things like that, and beta males and stuff like that. But we look at a lot of body cam. I don't know if y'all seen that before.
I was wondering, because I was going to try to bring that. I was trying to work that in there too.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's like Cops. So for all the people that's been big fans of Cops, when Cops don't come on no more, huh?
I don't know. I think it does.
Wow.
I think it's,
if they still come on, they probably in season 40.
Don't tell them, but I think they still does, because it's a lot of them on the YouTube.
If Cops still come on, Cops probably on season 45, because I was a kid. Cops, dang, that gotta be an old episode. But yeah, so body cam is like a Cops elevated.
Yeah, because they done changed so many, and there's so many other new episodes, so many other new stations that came out, like the one with the live footage, and they was showing the different places they are.
What, cop shows?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The one that we was watching the other night, where they would be in Louisiana.
Yeah, I don't know what that one is
like
called.
3 or 4 retired police officers there narrating the story, what's going on.
And then they'll like zoom across the country to from you said Louisiana?
Yeah, from Louisiana.
They'll zoom from Louisiana to California, and then after whatever they doing in California, they'll zoom to like they just zoom all over the place.
Yeah.
That's a pretty that's a pretty cool show. Cause it's entertaining, and then it educates us on the law, you know what I'm saying? And then you get to see a lot of things that police go through, you know what I'm saying? Because, coming up as kids.
And it still kind of give you a mindset of whether some of these cops are at too. Because it's still even though you're, I have never had a real bad experience with cops, but they show you how a lot of these situations are not fair when it comes to male and female, or when it comes to male, that's right, male and female, because a lot of the how I've seen the cops give women so much, no matter if they can be speeding, they can be shoplifting, whatever they're doing, breaking the law, they'll say, "I'm sorry, ma'am," but when it comes to a man, if he's doing anything near the same, they slam him to the ground. Yeah. They're tasing them. They're putting the handcuffs on them, and women get so much leeway.
It's crazy.
So much. I mean, to the point this woman was shoplifting and was running from this cop. This guy was about to pass the hell out.
They say police get mad when you make them run.
And he still wasn't mad.
Yeah.
She was getting pulled away from him.
Yeah, I know when he talking about.
Got into the car. He's telling her don't open that door. She opened the door. Don't get in that car. She got into the car. Don't start the car. She was just about to start the car.
It's just crazy. And what I think,
he's losing his breath.
He was tired.
Burning out.
He was about to tap out.
He was burning out. If she would have went around the car and got in, she would have lost it.
He would have said,
"Yeah,
no, boom." Well, we know this because we look at things from a more level point of view. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it.
Well, then we asked was fairness.
Fairness, yeah.
Fairness,
and then I don't
across the board. Fairness.
I don't see enough guys talking about things like this. It's like it's this system or this cycle where people just go with the flow. We see this episode Kev is talking about. We see things to where you get females that are criminals, bad people. You know what I'm saying? Shoplifting, killing, high-speed chases where they're involving the lives of people around them. And like the one Kev is talking about, this police caught this lady shoplifting. She gave him a run for his money. He breathing
Really?
hot. He's holding her and she's like, "Get your hands off me," this and that. So he's holding her like still trying to be gentle, and she coming at it with him, giving him all she got to get to her car so she can drive off. He's still trying to be gentle and tender with a female that's being hard and rough and not obeying the law. She's not obeying the police.
She already broke the law because she was shoplifting.
Yeah, so then he's holding her, no. She's telling him no, and slowly walking back to her car while he's gently holding her to the point of where she got her car door open and she's still saying no. She getting in her car seat and he's still tenderly holding her and she's still saying no. She reaching for her keys to start her car up because she was going to drive off. It's crazy to me. This is just crazy. We see countless episodes of body cam where women commit some of the worst criminal activity, and these police that are men, I don't know what's going on in their noggin, but they're being chivalrous. They're showing chivalry to female criminals.
Yeah, no fairness at all though.
This other one we seen yesterday involved this single mother, pregnant, taking her 2 sons. She said she was pregnant. So yeah, you can't.
I think she was just big.
Females tell lies. So yeah, so automatically she told the police.
And she had just recently got out of prison.
Yeah, so how was she pregnant? Yeah, that was crazy. She told the police she was 9 months pregnant, and I knew she was putting on a little show because she rubbing her belly the whole time. When they do that, they trying to make people like, oh, she's pregnant. But she was taking her 2 sons to various targets.
One was 14, one was 10.
Yeah, 14 years old, 10 years old, and then she had her granddaughter with her. They going to various targets where she'll let her sons out. They go on Target, they go steal the electronics and all they can steal. They run out, get in the car, and she drive off.
$25,000 worth.
Yeah, it was over 15 targets that they went to. And the crazy thing about it was when they caught the kids at the Target that they were at, which I'm not sure what county that was in, but it was in the state of Georgia. Athens, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
The mom, they go out to the car and get her. They bring her in and they tell her, oh, your sons are in here stealing. She played this whole role like, she disappointed in them and this and that.
Mother.
Yeah, and it just got crazy to the point of where she was there long enough.
I gotta say, the older cop was not having it.
Yeah, it was an older cop that was very seasoned, and he sniffed her out like bam.
Everything he said was right.
Yeah, so
everything he said was right.
They stood around Target long enough.
He was nice.
Yeah, but he was direct.
He was right to the point. He was 100% right.
Yeah, so and that was the lieutenant. He was the lieutenant.
Guy. He was trying to get the younger guy. I guess he was trying to get him to learn. If you're gonna be a cop, you're gonna be a cop. You gotta learn this stuff.
He effed that
nobody can teach you that. You gotta be on the streets and you gotta see these people for what they are.
You know what gotta happen to that younger guy? He need to run into them ratchet females. He need to get cussed out and called a rookie and drugging them up. You know what I'm saying? So to make a long story short with this situation, they stood around long enough. They got the mom. They had the front register the sons. Then it's obvious that they've been through that before because they wouldn't get the police their name, so the mom wound up having to do that. Meanwhile, her granddaughter is just running all over. You could tell there's no discipline there. And I kept saying, well, where's the dad? Where's the father? It was no father. So...
And then her story, nothing lined up, nothing made any sense.
Because she was telling lies.
Nothing made any sense. She was supposed to be there to meet some man.
Yeah. So they get the mom to come outside in front of the Target. And the police are there. They're like, okay, is it okay if we get your car keys to go check your car? You know what I'm saying? She dragged it out, postponed it out, pussyfooted it out, and she didn't want to give them her keys. It's nothing in there and this and that. So she got to the point where she started blaming her sons for everything that was going on with, them stealing. Stood out there long enough.
Artistic.
Yeah, then she telling them her son is artistic. And I noticed that with a lot of women. They start throwing different little sympathy things in the sky. Like maybe they'll say they just got out of the hospital or their mom just died. And she's telling her son artistic, just all of these things so you can feel sympathy. And it's like I have learned women throughout my life. And it's like where I'm at now, I done learned, so I done put so many puzzle pieces together that I'm like, wait, so this whole world, a lot of stuff is very imbalanced. You know what I'm saying? All the way from my childhood up until now, when I think about things, I'm like, wait, it's a lot of stuff that wasn't right. There's a lot of stuff that wasn't right, you know? And it's just like you just had to just go with the flow. Like, oh no, that's a woman. And it's just crazy. I don't hate women, I don't hate men. I love the world. You know, I love people as people. But when you look at things through more clear and balanced eyes, you see the imbalances, you see the unfairness, you see the injustice, you see just all of the things that are not right. So they out there in front of Target, she still pussyfooting, and then while she talking to the police, she got on her phone and started making phone calls. She on her phone with the police in front of her, having her a full-blown conversation. And if you're on the police, if you're within, I ain't gonna say under custody because they didn't detain her like that yet, but you're in the company of police that it's an investigation going on, and
he said you're detained.
Yeah.
You're not under arrest. You're just detained.
And you on your phone. So then she started doing all of this crying stuff, and I'm gonna make a long story short. The one Kel was talking about, the lieutenant, older dude, very seasoned, looked like he probably been in the force probably 30, 40, maybe 50 years. He said, you know what I think? Wait, first they brought out a pack of papers. Because like we said, it was over 15 different Walmarts. So he said, I think that you are 100% involved. I think you're the leader of this, and you're taking these boys to all of these Walmarts. You're letting them get out and steal. And, you know, he pointed right at where it was at. This is what made me, I didn't feel, I got kind of irritated. The cop who was handling this case,
the young guy,
he dragged it out. They didn't. When they did get the keys, they checked her car. All kind of stolen merchandise in there, right? He didn't check the trunk. I'm pretty sure if you find the stuff in the car, you're gonna find stuff in the trunk, cause the trunk is like where people hide stuff. So that was wrong. Everything was not carried out right. They were supposed to check her purse. Just so many things.
Before they impounded.
Mm-hmm.
They was gonna have to
inventory. Yeah, but I think they should have checked it. You know what I'm saying? Because we seen other cases where they did it. Yeah. So make a long story short, it gets to the point of where
that probably was done off camera.
I think so too. But it gets to the point of where the two boys, her sons, are in Target with police. You know, they got them in the room.
The loss prevention.
In the loss prevention office. And they don't know what's going on outside with their mom. So got to the point of where everything, as they say, all of this hit the fan. And they read her rights and all of that. And now she...
was it...
what?
What they call them, defects?
Oh yeah, they told her they was going to have to call defects. Because it was so many charges, and one of them included contributing to the delinquency of minors. Yeah. And by the time they handcuffed her, put her in the back of the police car, everything was done so chivalrous, so gentle, so tender. I'm like, this is a criminal. She done messed these boys up, and you still trying to treat her delicate?
Yep.
When she got in the car, crying and putting on a fit, asked the police for her phone probably like 15 million times.
Bus. Put the boys
she threw her sons under the bus. Do y'all know while she in the back of the car, the police got the door open and he's having gentle conversations and gentle moments with her, and it's just
not the sergeant.
Like they were friends.
He had to be like 20 something, because he told she was 30 something years old. She said, and he told her that he was more closer to her son's age than hers.
So he's from this new era. Yeah. Okay, that was one thing. So make a long story short, police procedures were not handled the way they were supposed to be handled. So usually what me and Kev do, we go read the comments. The comments, people were saying how, you know, oh, he's such a gentleman, he needs a raise, he treats everybody well, this is commendable. They were being funny.
Was a joke.
Yeah, but that was just one case. It wasn't handled well at all. He had a conversation with her like they were buddies and they needed to go have a drink after all of this was over. And she even told him that she just got out of prison.
But you remember the cop, the seasoned guy, said to get her address and then go check the house out.
Yeah.
Because if they've done been around several places, which I'm sure once they check that trunk, most of that stuff was going to be in that
It
trunk.
was gonna
like
be
you
more
said.
stuff, yeah.
It was going to be most of that stuff was going to be in the trunk.
But she had told them a bunch of lies, and they were believing.
She got 2 different cops, 2 different addresses.
And they were believing everything that came out of her mouth, which is the thing that a lot of us has been programmed to do.
Except for the season.
Yeah, he seen through it. But a lot of us.
He didn't want her to have a bond.
he didn't want her to have a bond or none of that. But I think in most cases, a lot of us have been conditioned and brainwashed to believe that women don't tell lies. You know, and I know firsthand.
Oh, they're all fragile too.
Oh, they're fragile and they're delicate. I know firsthand that women lie. Women tell big lies. Women manipulate.
Females.
Yeah, females. Thank you.
Thank you.
Females tell lies. Females manipulate. Females twist the truth. And they strong. So it's like, we done seen cases where it done been 4 police have to take 1 female down.
Now, there are strong women as well.
Yeah, so it's just...
females, there's more females nowadays than it is women.
Yeah. And it, to me, in today's society, having, and it's not all women. When we talk about this, we're not talking about all females, you know what I'm saying? It's more of them that are that way than not. Because to me today, finding a lady and a woman is like a needle in a haystack. If it's probably 90% of women on that, and there's probably 10% of women that are real, like, you know, they dainty, bent wrists, and tender. It's probably 10% from my point of view. But
you have studs wearing makeup and
it's confusing. Yeah, and to each his own.
Yeah.
To each his own. But yeah, I would have to say it's a beautiful thing to be able to see women or females elevate and grow in this world, in this country. But what's gonna happen is the same thing that happens with every sector. When you give power, it's gonna be corrupted. It's gonna be misused. It's gonna be abused. And now women are doing that, in which every other sector has done. So it's like, for you to want to have this power, for you want to have this gung-ho-ness, you're gonna lose some things. You're gonna misuse it. You're gonna abuse it. You're gonna take advantage of it, like every other. So that's what's going on right now.
That's right.
That's
really
what's going on.
I don't think it's nowhere. I still don't think this country is going to be ready for no female president. I don't know how long it's going to take for women to get to that point, but they're going to lose so much femininity to get into the White House. It's ridiculous. You might as well not. You might as well say it's not going to be a woman.
It's going to be like a stud.
It's going to have to
be.
It can't be no woman.
Because think about it. A real woman can't be a president.
To make those decisions like that, no.
Because you're talking about war, decisions on war. You know what I'm saying? Going to... Y'all know everything that take place with war. You know what I'm saying? A real woman ain't going to be able to make them kind of decisions.
Angela Bassett plays a wonderful version of a female president on that Mission Impossible, but it's impossible for a woman.
That's a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's impossible for a woman to still have that femininity and embody that masculinity to run a nation.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
That's a big job.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
And when Kamala was running and everybody was gung-ho about it and she didn't win, I was hearing all kind of craziness, like, that could have been your mother, that could have been your auntie, that could have been your sister.
And I still wouldn't have voted for her.
I'm like, man, put that down. It's like they trying to reach you some kind of emotional, illogical
still
way.
Wouldn't have voted for her.
And we seen all of these male celebrities just going off on black men. This is y'all fault for not voting. Yeah, he was one of them. Yeah, it's so many actors and rappers, and I'm like, are they really doing this? Just take the L and keep it moving. Who loses something and then start pointing at people that they think made them lose?
What about the crash
That's what
outs?
was finna be in office?
What about all the crash outs that recorded themselves? That's that most the nurse that was in the car and how crazy she and then she's gonna be taking care of somebody. Who you see how insane she looked, and she recorded herself and sent that out there in the internet. She recorded herself.
I couldn't believe that was real, man.
That's the thing about it is these people are so crazy that they record themselves and put it out on the internet.
I couldn't believe that was real. And then
And
there was
talking
some
about politics.
Yeah, it was some females that went on there during that crash out time. Oh, this is all black man fault. My kid's dad, F him. Yeah, I don't need no man. I ain't never doing. Like they were speaking all this hatred against African American men.
They're not gonna have sex. Not even through the 226. Then cutting their hair and all this kind of stuff. You're cutting your own head.
And what they don't realize what they were doing.
You're gonna be without sex.
Yeah, that's your life.
Yeah,
like they ain't got nothing to do with nobody else.
Yeah.
But what they didn't realize what they were doing, and it was happening in the masses. They were on the front line for black women. You know what I'm saying? They were showing you the magnitude of how crazy it can get. It's just like with our African American race. A lot of times you have all of the foolishness on the front line. You know what I'm saying? And that front line foolishness shows you what exists within that certain sector. But we seen everything that we shouldn't have seen from what you were supposed to consider as women. Like we seen all kind of craziness when Kamala didn't win. It was just crazy. And then her running, everything was just illogically done, in my opinion.
It
because
was like it was actually like a show.
Circus.
Yeah, you would think it was. You would have thought it was comedic the way everything was. How she kept changing her diet, how she was talking when she came to Atlanta. And then
I was laughing. It was just
that
all
was
funny.
Comical. I was kind of. It had to be the funniest.
It was funny.
Run for presidency I ever seen.
And it was so many celebrities involved. It was like she was on tour.
Nicki Minaj performed. Who was
No. You talking about Megan Thee Stallion?
Megan Thee Stallion, one of them.
Yeah, we seen that performance, and that was in Georgia, right?
In Georgia.
And we seen the Anglos in the audience because people was holding their sign. The Anglos were like, they had this look like, what is going on? Like, because it was.
I guess that was to get the male black voters.
In my opinion, it was sexual.
I know, but I think that was to try to get the male black voters.
And probably they already had the females because they females. So yeah, I guess so.
It didn't work.
That was just, man. And it's like, I'm like, this is the world we living in.
Yeah.
This is what's going on.
And it's never been done before. Never been done before.
And that's one of the things that I realize in today's world when it comes to women, everything is so sexualized. Everything is just so super sexualized. And there's so much more in this world than sex. It's so much more in this world of wanting to be considered an object of sexual desire.
And we're supposed to be the ones that think about sex 24/7.
That's what they say. But then I got older and I realized that because that's all I used to hear. Oh, all men think about is sex. All men think about is sex. But check this out. All women do is, the majority of women that I've come across in this life, everybody wants to appear sexy. What? So who thinks about sex more? The one that wants to embody themselves in sexiness, or the one that, it's crazy. I done been with women, family, friends, whoever, and they do this buying clothes shopping, and they always turn, they want to see how their butt look, and they want to make sure that the chest is out right. That's all sexual thoughts. Yeah, that's a sexual mindset.
I don't think I've seen any man go buy a pair of pants like, I want to show my stuff off.
It's just crazy. Yeah, I had to come to that realization because that's all I heard coming up. All men think about is sex. All men. People have become so brainwashed and conditioned that when a female is sexually dressed, it's like they process it as this is something normal. Like this, it's just a whole big mind clutter going on. Like, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. And then remember the video we seen about the teacher that she went to school dressed sexy. I think she taught like first grade or second grade.
I don't know if it was first. I think it was a little more.
It was like what,
like
fourth,
fifth or sixth grade.
Yeah. So there's one other situation. They had this one teacher. Y'all can look all this stuff up that we talking about. It's real. But she went to school every day dressed very sexual. somebody recorded every outfit that she wore every day, and it's like when she turned around to write on the board, her butt was like clapping, like she had just all this extra jiggle to her booty, and it's little kids behind her looking at her. And it's just, everything is so sexualized nowadays.
What was the thing with the stud? She ended up getting fired.
I remember something about
it. Was something going
on.
on.
Yeah, it was this other teacher that was a stud. I don't know if, I think she was a PE teacher. And she was, you know, and this is a whole nother school. And she record, you know what I'm saying, her students and this and that. And she told them little girls that they was going to get her in trouble. Like, and how she said it was like, y'all going to get me in trouble. So people was like, what does she mean by that? We know what she mean by that. You know what I'm saying? Everything is just so, yeah, so in my opinion, from my point of view, women think about sex more than men do. Yeah, it ain't, I done heard too much about, yeah, I didn't, like I said, I'm from a family of majority women, and yeah, I done heard too much about, yeah, there's so many things. But when it's a female that you love, whether it's your mama, your auntie, your sister, it's like the mindset of an average man, of a simp man or a beta man. They dust off whatever things or characteristics about them women close to them. They dust it off because that's the female that they love, and it's like they ride with it. It's just like I said, sometimes some people mama can be wrong, because it's their mama, they still stand up for her and she be wrong. And it's just, yeah, I just think a lot of people need to wake up, men as well as women. And there are some women that are woke. You know, we come across them. Those are needles in the haystack. You know, and it's just, everything is not based on sex. You know what I'm saying? Every story that we hear of females that are single mothers, all of them got this bad story about their dad. I got older, I'm like, wait, here, pause. All of these, just like in my family, you know, the majority of us came up in single mother households. And I had to hear pause. I'm like, wait, so you mean to tell me everybody in this family had bad daddies? You know, and it's just like in society, in the world, every single mother that you see, all of these women got with bad men. Like, it was something wrong with all of those men.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that and it just got to the point where I don't even be want to hear the stories anymore, or I'm gonna call them excuses. You know what I'm saying? Because I never heard a female like, oh, you know, I was irrational, I was imbalanced, I was hard to deal with, I wanted everything my way and this and that. Or
they make jokes about it. You want to be my baby daddy?
Yeah, it's just crazy.
They make jokes about it.
With the things that we discussed thus far, chivalry is like this. Only people that's practicing chivalry 1000% still are those men that are in that system of brainwash, you know. And we don't even deal with like females like that, you know what I'm saying? And it goes across the board, whether you straight or whether you gay, you're still a man, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, yeah, when we do in stores, we do self-checkout. Now we can go to Mexicans, Anglo women registers, and we get treated top tier. Something about going through black women registers, we get unnecessary attitude, and in a lot of cases, you leave the place feeling worse than you came in. And it's not supposed to be that way. I don't know what's going on in the world, but I think it's just going to keep getting worse, because I think there's more people that are in that brainwashed state than woke. So I think it's just going to keep getting worse, and I'm thankful that I'm the age that I am in today's world, because them children coming up, it's going to be something else.
And then every state has its own different something, whatever it is going on, because on the West Coast, it's a lot of stuff we didn't run into.
Yeah. That
we ran into when we got here, but there's a whole different thing going on the West Coast.
We was talking about that too the other day. Yeah. So I ain't gonna say what place we went to, but shout out to Great Value Ginger Snaps. They good, y'all. They good. But we went to this business the other day, and it was a black lady that was helping us. I don't know what was wrong with her. I don't know if she was clocking out tea. Whatever was going on, her energy towards us, the way she was talking, the way she was acting, she was very nasty. And the type of person I am, I'm like, I'm gonna make it through this. Kev going to this stoic type of demeanor, because once you see what's going on, you know, I'm like, we finna make it through this, you know. And she was really nasty.
I think that was her personality, period.
No, I guarantee you, if Anglos came in
I'm
there,
saying, far as
if white people came in there,
as far as Afro-Americans, I think that's her personality, period, because she was like that to that guy.
no, we were men. You ain't see her
Yeah, I'm
interact
saying.
with a female. Cause remember the female that was
So
leaving?
back then, it was a female back
That,
then.
yeah, she treated her nice. So I think it was something she had against men. I think that she was a diehard feminist, and I think she didn't like men, and I bet she probably got sons at home, and she's a single mother.
I'm about to say, I know she's single.
Yeah, so yeah, cause what we notice, and I pay attention and I study so much. When we're in a situation where we're getting checked out by a black female, the energy that they give us, and if you got white people behind you, it's not the same energy. You know what I'm saying?
It switches on and off
Yeah.
really quick.
I'm in the hair store.
See the change.
Hmm.
You can see the change once you walk away. Then the Anglo walk up.
Yeah, they change
That
instantaneously.
face expression, everything changes.
Yeah, and
They
it's
put
like
another mask.
it's like if you go through this, the majority of the time when you deal with a certain type of people, I think naturally within your system, your mind, your spirit, your energy is gonna reconfigure itself. Like, okay, you know what? I kind of got the probability that if I go in that black female register, I'm gonna get some unnecessary drama. Just something it's gonna rub me the wrong way. So more than likely, what I do if it's in a situation where we're getting checked out by a human, I look at who all is lined up in the panel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just crazy. And then there's other situation at the Sally's Beauty Supply getting hair products. They little card reader thing was broke. So they had this thing on their screen where I guess when their card reader's broke, the cashier can swipe your card on their monitor thing. So it was an Anglo, aka white woman in front of me. She explained to her that their card reader thing was broke. The lady gave her her credit card. She swiped it and let her go. I get there, you know, I already heard what she told her, so I get her my card. She asked to see my ID. I said, wait, you didn't ask to see her ID. You know, so here I go. When I get home, I'm about to write a letter to Sally's. It's just everywhere we go, it's unfair treatment. And I think in a lot of cases, a lot of them black women, they done probably been through stuff with their baby daddy. It be stuff that they have personally that they
shouldn't be at work with.
They bring it everywhere they go, and they treat if they got in an argument with their baby daddy, I think they just be that way to all men that they come, except the Anglo, except for white men. You know what I'm saying? But they just be nasty with men. And I'm at this point now in my life where I'm not up for challenging nobody, whether you're a male, whether you're a female. I'm not into challenging and all that kind of stuff. Don't challenge me. Whatever we are exchanging energies for, that's what we need to do. If you ring me up and let me go. Don't do no overage or you not a ma'am and I'm not a little boy. Let's just do what we're supposed to do and go our own way. Like, yeah, hold it in long enough. Your hatred, your anger, hold it in long enough to get done with me. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And do your job.
Yeah, that you come there to do your job. So yeah, all that other stuff, it's just crazy, man. But yeah, Chivalry's still around, but Chivalry has gotten very selective.
What's the second part?
Of what?
It just was on Chivalry, wanting the second part?
Nah, that was the other one for After Dark. Yeah.
But still, we normally have two parts. Because I wonder you ain't have the paperwork with you.
We only have one because you talking about when we was doing it with
Okay, well, what about the other? Since we were talking about the police cam, what about the mother that called the cops on her son, and then she lied to the cops and said that he had a gun. And how that situation could have they told her that situation could have turned very, very dark because they come there with a different attitude when they know weapons are involved.
Yep.
That heightens the alert when they get there.
Well, Kev talking about This body cam again, and I'm so thankful that they made body cam. And why it's called body cam is because you get to see everything from the police point of view,
yeah.
from their cameras that
And
they
from
have on
each,
them.
and they normally show each
And
one.
they
of
show
them.
however many police there, you get to see all of those different vantage points. So this black mama called the police on her son. He's what, 19?
Yeah.
He was 19 years old. Going on 20.
Said he was blocking her from getting in her
Yeah,
car.
with everything that she told them.
But you can hear him on the phone.
He said all he wanted to get is his
clothes so he can leave.
Yeah, he said all he wanted is his clothes so
she
he can
was just
leave.
wanting to have that control. You ain't even gonna get it because you know you gonna get it when I come back or whatever. You have to,
That was a control issue.
Mm-hmm.
So with all that going on, you can hear him in the background. There's not a hostile tone in his voice at all. You don't hear no aggression, no nothing. He's saying he just want to get his clothes. So they already told her that the police was on the way. They hang up with her. She called the police back and tell them that he got a gun. Like, you know, he's threatening to shoot her and this and that. So the police got there.
So they can get there fast.
Yeah, so she wound up telling them that, you know, once everything transpired. So they get there and they see, you know, her son, and they come in there because, you know, if they hear that he got a gun, they got to come, you know, prepared.
And they pull
even
their
if they
guns
got
on.
to shoot him
Yeah.
because they feel like, you know what I'm saying, they're in jeopardy. So it gets to the point of where they come, they overtake him, and they, you know, they got him laying on the ground and everything, and she come out. Oh, he doesn't really have a gun. I just told y'all that so y'all can get here soon, so y'all can get here faster. And that was just totally wrong.
That was half of what she said.
That was totally wrong.
Now fuck nigga.
Mm.
She was saying that's her son.
The
And
police
they was telling her
just to
to
get
shut
back.
up, yeah.
The police
They
got
knew
her
all that.
son laid on the ground, and she like, nah, fuck nigga, what fuck nigga? This is a mother talking to her son like that. She's insulting him and degrading him,
They put the
and she's
on him.
happy that her police is in the care. Oh well, I ain't gonna even call it the care like that, but you know the police got him on the ground. He in their custody, and it just got to the point of where they told her that she was wrong for doing that, and I was so happy of how it ended.
when she blurted out that she called them, she told him that he got a gun to make them come faster. That female cop got pissed because she knew on top of her screaming to the top of her lungs, "Fuck nigga," she said, "Turn around."
Yeah,
And then
they put her in handcuffs.
Yeah, it shocked her that you know they was making her turn around.
And it's just crazy because whatever world we live in now, females is off the hook. Females is off the chain. And it's in my family, you know, and it's at the point for me when it comes to relatives.
And it's really I'm about to say it's really messed up when you're the target from your so-called
From your
family.
And then a female that's supposed to be gentle and tender. So I had to get to the point in my life where I had to look at things for what they really were and not sugarcoating it like, oh, but that's such and such, but that's such and such. I had to look at things for what they really were. And I had to, anybody that I had to disassociate with, I did that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it's sad, like you said, when it's your relatives and when it's females that are supposed to be tender, near and dear and sweet and all of those things, and they're creatures just like what you see out in the world, you have to treat it accordingly. You can't say, oh, but that's my mama. Oh, but that's my sister. Oh, but that's my auntie. Oh, but that's my this. You can't do that because if you do that, it's creating an imbalanced playing field.
And on top of that, if their lives and relationships was as perfect as they portray that they are, they wouldn't be full of lies the way they are.
Yeah.
That shows you how their life is really going.
Yeah.
They're not happy. They're miserable, and they want everybody else to be miserable.
And if it's
Because
anything,
if their lives were so perfect or going good, they'll come to you and say, "I'm sorry, this happened, that happened."
yeah.
They wouldn't be still filled with the same lies they were when they was 17, 18 years old. They should have grown out of that.
Yeah.
And especially older than 21, and you're still carrying on that same baggage as a teenager, you're mentally just,
Especially in your 40s and your 50s and your 60s.
and beyond.
Yeah.
You're still mentally challenged.
But yeah, I had to get to the point of where that whole tender female thing. Oh, but that's my subject. No, you can't do that, because what it does, it instills something in them that they have this overall favor.
And make them think it's okay for them to be that way.
And it creates a system of entitlement within that female, within those females. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, they're like, okay, well, no matter what I say to him, or no matter what I say about him, or no matter what I do to him, you know, I'm his sister, I'm his mother, I'm his auntie, they're gonna brush it off because I'm a woman. That's not logical thinking. You gotta stand on your stuff. You gotta own up to what you did wrong. You have to know how to apologize. And if you want to be on that level where you're equal to a man, then that's how you need to be treated. You know what I'm saying? But in my own family, you know, because in my situation, like I told y'all in one of the previous podcasts, my mom had 2 boys and 2 girls. I'm the oldest children out of all 4 of her children, and my sister Nika, which was born after me, she passed away. And the next girl my mama had after her, we're not close at all. And it seemed like a younger sister would be just so near and dear to her oldest brother, but
a sister, period.
Yeah, any sister, period, really. Yeah, but I say that because, like, when it comes to a younger sister, because I remember how my mom was with her oldest brother. My mom was like a little girl if he was coming to visit, I just seen my mom, excitement, that shine in her eyes.
And the type of big brother you were, you would think that you wouldn't even had to work hard at doing it, because you was a perfect big brother.
I appreciate
not to
that.
mention hard working and then intelligent.
Yeah. But yeah, me and my sister are not close. And it's like, when I think back on our childhood, I see it's no perfect parent. I'm going to say that. And my mom was predominantly a single mother. I see where a lot of errors took place that made my sister the way she became. Because it's like, what I realized once my eyes got open is that you got a lot of females that they do a lot of wrong stuff. They do a lot of bad stuff.
With functional brains to be to selective of what you want to learn,
what you choose,
and what you choose, choose to do.
It's all decision based.
So yeah.
So when you make a decision,
just how you was raised.
Because however you was raised, you can rework that and reconfigure yourself to admit and own up to your,
raised by alcoholic and drug addicts, and don't
they turn
come
out wonderful.
Yeah, and don't come out as drug addicts or alcoholics.
Yeah.
They stay away from it because they already know what happened to their parent.
Yeah, and it's like when I think about all the way to childhood, and it's things in different podcasts that we've talked about here and there, when it comes to family situations, but my mom, she never held my sister accountable for bad things that my sister did, like she should have, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to say, if it's the baby girl, I think a lot of babies get babied, you know what I'm saying? But my grandma was a whole nother ballgame. But like I said, by the time my mama had my other siblings, like after Nika, my grandma had to move out. So my grandma played a stronger part in my life out of all of my mom's kids, because I'm the oldest. And by the time my mama had her later kids, later on, my grandma was not there to help shape them. And it took me to get older to really see who they are, and it's like, with me not being close to my sister, the sister that's still alive, it's not on me, you know what I'm saying? Because I've never done anything bad to her. But it's like, in her eyes, she has shaped me to be a villain, and she has nothing good to say about me. There's been a lot of family members.
It's like a lot of resentment and jealousy.
Yeah, that's what it stems down to, I believe, is jealousy. Because there's been a lot of family members that have come and told me things that, she said about me and this and that. And it's like, coming up as a child, I was that person, if she did something wrong, I'd be like, no, you can't do that, this or that. And like, I'm gonna give y'all an example. Like, I used to play with Transformers and G.I. Joes and stuff. So me being an older brother, my sister might have an interest in one of my toys, so I let her hold it, and she'll take the toy and just snap it in half, or she'll throw it, or she'll yank her arm out, and I'm like, no, you know, and then I'm taking my toy back because I want to fix it. And she had this thing where she'd get this pouty face and just, like she'll start screaming and crying. And my mama would always come run to, you know, coddle her. And I'll be like, you know, my mom want to know what happened. I'm like, I took my toy. She just broke my toy. And, you know, well, you don't talk to her. You don't tell her no. My mama just always had something to say to defend the wrongness instead of saying to my sister, no, that's your brother's toy. No, don't do that. You play with it. And, you know, she never did that. You know, and it got to the point where it happened time after time again where anytime my sister would do something wrong, she would get in this pouty crying demeanor, and my mama come in and coddle her, and my mama would be hugging her sometimes. It wouldn't be nothing major that just happened, but just that she kept running to her aid, and my sister would be looking at me over my mama's neck like, you know, making these evil faces like, I got you. And I'm like, is this really happening? And then it took, you know, it just kept happening to where, you know, you find yourself grown and an adult, and those bad childhood formations, they have matured. And then and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of females that have not been disciplined the way they were supposed to be disciplined, you know, because you might get people like, oh, you know, that's your sister. And true enough, it is what it is, but you still want your sister to be the best sister. You want your sister to be disciplined. You want your sister to be structured. You want things that your sister might need to hear from her older brother that maybe her mom ain't telling her or her dad ain't in her life like that. And that's when I told you everything falls in the chain. If you got that brother there like, no, you don't do that. No, this is wrong, that's wrong. It's got to be what it's got to be. But if you have a mother that has not instilled structure in her child and she goes behind the child that has structure to go and like erase that, you know what I'm saying, and put whatever her thing is on it, it's like, it's making it all confusing. And it's like,
still, like I said, that falls on that person.
It falls on that person when they get older.
If she wanted to construct her life to be better, and for her to be better, she would have wanted to emulate some of your strong character, your characteristics that she didn't have.
Because I'm raised by my grandma,
mother,
so yeah.
You know, kind of like abled her with some of the things that she did wrong. She still, in the long run. Like, okay, that was challenge of me to break your toy. That was me as a kid.
It was
but now,
so many things.
Coming up, you know, like how she told you, she sees with some of the things she did, but now she clean up and stuff like.
Oh, thank you. That was another thing. So yeah, as time go on, you know, y'all getting to know us through this thing we call therapy. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to a lot, but yeah, on a later note in life. And Kev is a witness to that when me and my sister, you know, I guess we were trying to work our relationship out and be cool with each other. And she was like, oh, you know, I'm clean now. I cleaned up the house. Oh, you should see me. And she was telling me that she understood what I was doing back then. She was like, you wanted me to be clean. You wanted me to be neat. So it's like they see it and they know it. You know what I'm saying? But whatever the thing is,
30 years later.
Yeah, but it's a long story to a lot of that because my younger brother that's under her, he wound up living with her and the person that she decided to marry. And my brother, there's a lot of other things that he told me about her when it came to cleanliness. But she told me that she was clean. Whether she was telling the truth or lying, I don't know. But my brother said something totally opposite. But what I got out of that more than anything is that she was telling me, oh, you know, when we were kids and you used to try to get us to clean up the house and wash dishes and this and that, she made me know that she understood what was going on. But for some reason, she was still rebellious. Out of all of my mom's kids, you know, she took me through hell, you know, and then it's like you get older and this person has never accepted accountability for anything that they done, and then they still try to take you through more hell when I guess it's better to just travel in your own lane. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the oldest child. I ain't never been in competition with them, never been competitive with them, never been combative with them. I just said what it was and just let it be. And it's like, either, you know, we on this thing together or we not. You know what I'm saying? It's like either we're a team or we not a team. I'm the most disciplined and balanced child that my grandma that my mom had, and that's because of my grandma shaping me. You get what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. I'm not talking like I got a halo over my head, but if you put Nika passed away, but if you put all my mom's kids together and see who's who and who have done with their lives and just various things, you'll see who is who. But her last 2 kids, in my opinion, they were the bad seeds. And I just gotta say that. And you know, my younger brother always blamed my sister for manipulating him to do bad things.
He had a choice.
So yeah, even with that being said,
and then you talking about a girl and a boy.
Yeah, so with that being said, you taking more of her ways because you, as well as you're not accepting accountability for things that you've done bad when you was a child, as well as things that you've done as an adult.
And you still bands with her now, so
it's just it's crazy. It's crazy, and yeah, this is my experience that I'm speaking about, and these are my facts. You know, we have to live in our truth. You know, and I learned that from somebody we met some years back, the therapist that What I learned from this friend of ours we had a while back was, you know, when you talk to people about your lives and you get them to see things from your point of view, and this was a female that, you know, I was talking to situations about, that's the therapist, so she was like, one thing, you know, that you have to remember when people telling lies, you know, a lot of times they have to get a lot of people, they have to rile up a lot of people in their arena to make it seem like what they're saying is true, to pacify them, to help them feel like they're right. But she was like, you could be that one person standing alone, but you stand in your truth, regardless of however many people over there, you stand in your truth, you know, and it's like the truth always prevails. You know what I'm saying? The truth always wins. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been standing in my truth, but I see like a lot of females in my family that fall under that thing where being chivalrous to a lot of them is not a good thing. And I'm just seeing this in so many women these days. Because it's like you try to be nice, but you got to fall under this system and you're not going to be reciprocated whatever you give out. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't get it back. It's like something that you were just supposed to do because I'm a woman and you're a man. And it's like a whole... It's like a Twilight Zone. It's like a brainwash. But we come through a lot of woke women, a lot of balanced women every now and then. Even though there's some podcasters out there that we're familiar with, that they're more balanced women, and I'm thankful that we cross paths with them and people that we meet in this life, in, you know, this dimension, in this third dimension that we come across and like, okay, dang. Okay, so she's one of the other women. You know what I'm saying? We run across them every now and then. And we were thinking about whatchamacallit, because she was something like that. Deanna.
Oh, I know something.
Yeah. Yeah, it was we be reminiscing sometimes, and yeah, we run through you know, situations of where we might cross paths with women that
But the thought of chivalry being gone is pretty much fading away because of how society has changed, how this female era now, this toxic femininity is taking over. If it don't change, I think it is going to become. It's going to be gone before I turn 70.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm happy to be this age.
What direction this society is headed to, but without change, we're going to lose a lot of feminine females. It's not going to be. It's going to be hard to find them, and it's going to be a lot of unhappy women, unmarried. That's what Kevin Samuels was whole thing was. He was trying to stress to these women about changing for a better outcome on life with catching a partner. And you can't fake it because you only can fake it for so long.
Yeah, and then if they fake on the long term, it's tiring. You got to keep that up.
You can't fake it. It's going to slip. You're
somewhere slip down the line, yeah.
Especially, they say alcohol brings out the truth. And then you have to have a drink around your partner, and then the real you come out. It's gonna be hard to change all of that.
Or have a drink around all the people that they've been telling all these twisted stories and manipulating.
The truth is gonna come out eventually.
And anytime you have to manipulate people into believing you, you should be able to see yourself that you are a liar. If you can't just tell somebody to just flat out truth about a situation, you gotta twist and turn and manipulate them. You should see within yourself that you're a liar. Come to grips with that. Other than lying, just don't say nothing at all. You get what I'm saying? Just keep your mouth shut. Close your energy up, you know? Because like you said, like, yeah, you can only do that for so long. You can only do it for so long. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. And I think some people might be like, oh, you know, he's messed up or that guy's messed up. But what people got to realize is that when it comes to men, when it comes to males, when you have males that feel a certain way about females, about women, guess who made them feel that way? It wasn't another man, it was them women. Like one situation of somebody we know, mama used to basically abuse him, beat him coming up. I know several people like that. They got problems with women because their mother used to like strong arm them like the mama was the man.
Like I said,
and it's
half
just,
the serial killers had some type of bad relationship with their mothers.
Yeah, I can believe that. So it's just when you got a woman that ain't balanced, the men, it's gonna be something with the men.
Somebody
you know?
paid for it.
And then it's like, as men, like you said, when we get older, we still have a decision. You know what I'm saying? We gotta have a decision to reconfigure the balance of whatever imbalance that we were brought up in. We have to still go back and try to, like how they say, go to settings. We have to go to the settings and we got to try to, rework that. And for a lot of us, we come up with a better balance once we realize what's what. And then you got some people that they stay in that brainwashed state where they just get ran over and continuously broken down by women. And you might have some people that just disassociate with, with everything. Like it's different levels to everything based on the person. But in most cases, when you have a lot of bad men, it's usually a female somewhere down the line that short-circuited him, that messed him up in some kind of way, whether it's the mama, whether it's the grandma, whether it's the auntie, whether it's the sister, whether it's the daughter.
That's why you hear so many stories where they say like the man, they said the man went out to get a pack of cigarettes and then come back.
Mm-hmm.
It's either that he took as much as he can take, and that particular day he decided to not come back.
Yeah.
So he decided to keep it going. He met somebody and just kept it going.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's some stories where some guys have probably met some good women and just but like I said, those are rare stories.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is not always the man's fault. Especially if you it takes two to tangle.
Yeah.
Y'all both know trying to learn each other. So if you end up having a child with him, that's that's deep because you had a child with him. You didn't take enough time to learn him before you had a child with him. So you can't put it on the man because you got pregnant. You both laid down and have sex.
And that's something that I've seen too.
And unprotected sex, and that's how you have a child.
It'd be a lot of females be like, well, he got me pregnant. No. Yeah. I used to hear that a lot.
Yeah. No,
like, did you get raped?
It was consensual. Like, yeah. You both decided to lay down and have sex unprotected.
Yeah. And
that's the outcome of what happens. But you're the one that's going to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Yes, he can walk away from it without any signs of showing what happened, but your sign of showing what happened is you're pregnant. Congratulations.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think
the female has to look deeper into that situation than the man does. Yes, it's going to affect both of you in some kind of way because, for one, if you lay down and have a baby with a woman that's unhinged, she's going to ruin your life. You're gonna be stuck to her until that child's 18 years old or 21, whatever the case may be. But it takes a father to raise a child. It's a man. Any man can have a child, and then it takes a woman to be a mother. and any female can have a baby.
Yeah.
If she's fertile.
Yeah.
So it goes really deep both ways.
Yeah.
But before the female lay down with the male to have the child, if it's just sex, have protection.
Don't get pregnant, yeah. And I think the female got to say so over that overall,
Yeah.
you know.
That's the whole. That will cut that right. So you mean to tell me for the past 50 years, nobody practiced safe sex? Nobody had that talk with their child about that. That all of these single households with single parents. Sex education been going on for a long time.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think
Not to mention that you learn a lot of stuff from the streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
your mom and dad don't even talk to you about it. You're going to learn it from your friend. You're going to learn it from somebody in school. A teacher is going to be, I don't have so many teachers that sit the whole class down and talk to us about sex.
That's it, yeah.
And I don't know how many teachers that did that. I don't know if y'all heard this before, but I'm going to do this because, watching the news and blah, blah, blah. And you had concerned teachers. And that was in the 80s, in the late 70s and early 80s when I was in school. So I mean I know we had them back then, so I know they didn't just stop.
And I think it should start at home, but it don't. Yeah, it don't be that way. And then
I came from a big family. That's the thing with big families. Everybody's different, so everybody just thought I knew so much stuff, and I was just a hyper kid. I did a lot of stuff, so everybody just knew I knew everything, because I was always doing something that was different from my older brothers and my siblings. So yeah, everybody just thought I just had everything together, and I was just a kid.
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it was an act. I didn't want to seem like I didn't know anything.
You're playing the role.
Yeah, I read a lot of books. I tried to do things that I thought I couldn't do to just achieve them. Okay, I could do it. So I mean, I did a lot of stuff that everything I did that I thought I couldn't do. And the things that surprised them surprised me. So it was just like I just like I said, I got tired of sitting around waiting for adults to do the right thing, and I was like, all my other siblings, everybody else is going to pay for it. The lights getting turned off and no food in the house. Something got to change. Yeah. So I was the one that just said, I'm going to do something about it.
Make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my little brothers. I'm not to have them looking at me crying and I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, you was a good big brother too.
I can't do anything about sickness. I'm not a doctor, but some of the stuff that that my parents, I've already seen them do. I just can do it better.
And I done heard stories from your siblings over the years of different things that you've done, and then I got to witness you being the type of sibling you've been for 30 years. I got to witness that. So yeah, you've been a good sibling, and I'm not just saying this because we hear
it falls on like everybody's different. It's individual. If you got 8 brothers and 2 sisters, and nobody's lifting a finger to do anything, why should you be that 9th child, or that why should you be that child to just continue to let it go? Because like one of the things my brother used to always say is, "I'm just your big brother." Lester never said that, but Michael said, he always.
So that sounds like limitations. Huh?
Yeah,
like,
he always said, "I'm just your big brother." Lester
that's
never
everything.
Said,
Lester
never said that. Of course, I'm gonna look at you for more because you're my big brother. But I was like, what? Okay, so I flipped the script. He started like when I saw him and I know he didn't have anything. I'm reaching in my pocket to get him money, and he's just standing there like, this little nigga giving me money. And I'm 15, 16. He's like 21 something and got a child and ain't got no money in his pocket.
And then I remember your older sister saying all of the things you did for her. Yeah.
I come over to the house to see my nephew. He's in when he's supposed to be in diapers. He got a T-shirt tied around him. Yeah. I'm like, I go out and buy them diapers and Similac. That used to be the baby milk.
The baby formula.
And baby food. I just stocked him all out. I said this. He was a year and something. I like this should be enough for him to till he stopped drinking. I brought like cases of milk, and then the thing about it was the place they were staying at. I gave her grandmother-in-law because that was my nephew's grandmother they were staying with. I gave her enough money. I didn't even know at the time to move out of that place they was in to this big house at the end of the corner.
Wow.
Yeah, I just gave her $400.
Wow.
And mind you, this was in the 70s, and this was in the South. Because we moved from New York to the South. So rent for a house back in the 70s, you can get a big house for $50, $60 a month.
Everything was so much cheaper. Yeah, it was crazy.
And tonight, right now, you probably can find a house for $500 to $800 a month.
In South Carolina?
Yeah, nice big house with a big yard.
Wow.
Yeah. All of this $1,600 a month for rent.
$2,000,
$3,000.
Yeah.
Atlanta is still the South.
Yeah.
They want to be more than what they are. Atlanta is still the South.
I think Atlanta's overrated.
Yes, it is overrated and greedy.
And then that thing is
more
here.
Greed here and more corruption here than any other big city. New York and Chicago. And this place is just like that because there's so many people flocking here still, and then you got the people that don't really care. They'll talk all that talk, but they don't really care. If you vote for me, that's just so they can get their hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah,
that's all that is.
Things,
so that's why I don't even try to get into politics. All this people's like, oh, you need to go out and vote. Are you serious? These people know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They rigging and that's why they keep talking about all this. There's this stipulations and stuff with this voting boxes and all this stuff. These people are rigging up shit. They're come just like criminals. They're criminals with shirt and ties. They're gonna continue to find other loopholes and other ways of getting over of the common people.
And the crazy thing with that is that when you tell people, everybody doesn't have to be affiliated with politics, right? So when you tell people, oh yeah, I don't, because it was this thing where a lot of black people would be like, you Democrat or you Republican. And then if you tell them that you're not for either party, they go through this thing where, well, your ancestors died for your right to vote and this and that. And it's like, okay, well, if my ancestors died for my right to vote, then my ancestors basically died for me to have a choice in the decision. Because like I told you with that black lady, we had this one female that was asking me, was I registered to vote? And I told her that I wasn't voting. What? Yo, this whole long story. So then I was like, I'm just kidding. I said, I'm registered to vote. I said, Republican, right? She's like, hell no Republican. You do Democrat. So it's like, it's crazy. That goes back into that mindset of thing again, where it's like, okay, first of all, it's my business. You know what I'm saying? That's just like with religion. You get to choose to do what you want to do, and nobody should be mad at you. You get what I'm saying?
There's corruptions with everything.
But I get that more from females when it comes to the politics. Yeah. What you saying?
It's just like what you said, politics. It's just look at it. Poly is to lie. That's like a polygraph. Mm-hmm. Politics is like a blood sucker.
Yeah.
So it's a lying blood sucker is what it is. And that's all they're doing to this nation. They sucking this nation dry.
And it's crazy because I think when it comes to politics and the whole Democratic Party, I think it's more female based. Because I see more females going gung-ho for Democrats. You know what I'm saying? And then every now and then you'll hear, I think they say Nicki Minaj is with Republicans now. Mm-hmm. And it just takes people into this frenzy.
And I guarantee you, at the end of the day, they're sitting around at the table eating and laughing, talking.
High-fiving each other.
How we fooled them again.
And then I heard something recently about Chili from TLC that she gave a donation to MAGA or something. I heard. I'm like, that's that lady money. That's that lady money. Let her contribute to whoever she want to contribute to. And it was somebody else. The lady that's moving, I guess she already moved here from Chicago. Tiffany Henner, whatever. Yeah, it's the lady that was in Chicago. I want to say she was the mayor.
She was the mayor of Chicago.
Yeah, and it was a long story with her situation.
Is it Dalton?
Okay, so yeah, y'all can look that up. But yeah, she moved to Atlanta. Now she's running for a seat.
Council or something.
Yeah, I don't know what the position is, but she's running for something in Fulton County. And she was a Democrat in Illinois. And now she's, in the Republican Party here, and it's just, I'm like, let people do what they want to do. Like, how you do what you want to do in mind. Vote for who you want to vote for.
The only thing you have to do is don't vote.
That's
don't
like
vote
you.
For her.
Yeah, that's like you get mad because a certain food somebody want to eat.
We're trying to, even if she want to be corrupted or whatever.
Yeah. If somebody want to eat,
for her.
Yeah, if somebody want to eat ice cream and you want to eat cake, you can't get mad because they don't want to eat cake with you. Like, no, it's just crazy. And I get that mostly, like I said, from females. Like, and then
intermission.
Okay, and then like
I think we're already past the.
We probably are, cause we be going in. And then like when it comes to the whole political thing, I mean, I don't really think politics is a feminine thing like that. I think politics is I think it's a bunch of masculinity because it's a bunch of decisions got to get made. You know what I'm saying? That takes. Okay, I'm gonna say it like this. I think some of the decisions that have to be made within politics, I think it takes a lot of women out of their feminine status. It's a lot of roughness goes on in there. And it might be some tenderness in politics too, but politics is strong energy. It's strong energy. And I don't think politics is for the weak. I think when you in there and you riding for a certain party, you are representing everything that they stand for. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when it comes to war, even if you're not there watching people get killed and cities get blown up, if that's the party that you ride with, then that's part of what you stand for. So it's like when it comes to politics, I think we got to be careful. Because just like with the Jehovah's Witness religion, that, my grandma was Jehovah's Witness, so I came up, in that religion. Jehovah's Witnesses don't participate in voting. Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't participate in politics. It might be some of them that might do it, behind their back, but their religion is not based on, politics and stuff. So you got a whole religion of people that don't vote. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, when I tell people, that I don't participate in that, it's not a hard thing for me to do, But it's just, I was talking about how I don't think politics is really a feminine thing. I think politics is more masculine. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's more of a harder energy because a lot of the decisions that have to be made because of how you got to present yourself. Because when I see most women in politics, they be missing a certain femininity. It's like you got to step into another character. And they might have, a lot of, like, dress
I don't know what
and makeup.
If there's ever been an era or decade of politicians where they weren't corrupted.
Yeah.
Because as far as back as Al Capone and every decade or whatever, any century you look at, I don't think there was ever a time when politics wasn't corrupt. Mm-hmm. It just got more and more corrupt. And now with the intelligence of AI and all this other stuff,
it's a lot.
Computers and whatnot. They just get more advanced with it, just like the criminals.
Yeah.
They just, like I said, they're just a criminal with a shirt and tie on.
Mm-hmm.
Look at greed. Look how many stories you see on American greed that just blows your mind that this person got away with stealing $6 and $8 billion, and then they'll get 7 to 8 years or 15 years, and a murderer or somebody that killed 5 or 6 people, they'll get maybe 25 years. So or somebody that really do a complete heinous crime, they'll get 40 or 50 years. This person that just ripped off millions of people, they should get just as much time.
It'd be crazy.
They just did it with a shirt and tie.
It'd be crazy. Yeah. It'd be crazy.
So it really is. So politics is just.
Yeah.
once people decide to really open their mouth and stand together and do something, that's where this politics thing the government should be ran by the people, not the government running the people, and that's how it's always been.
And you know, the way I try to look at things now is that we just need people everywhere for everything. So when people, you gonna have your set of people that don't vote, and you got your set of people that Democrat, Republican, whatever all parties there are, and then you got some people that'll be Democrat this time, then they'll say their eyes is open and they Republican. We need people everywhere for everything. Just like with food, you got your vegetarians, you got your vegans, you got your meat eaters, you got your fruitarians. Just, it's so many people in this world, you know, people can't expect everybody to be grouped into, you know, one thing. Just like you need your straight people, you need your gay people, you need a mixture of everything. That's the way I try to see it, to make it all more balanced. But yeah, and then you got the areas where some women are needed in dominant positions. I think some women are needed there, but it can't be 90% of the women, because you might need, you know, some women I don't know, you might need some women for certain, you know, if that's who they are, you know, and that's what their life called for, but that can't be all women. You know, it's just, yeah, it's crazy. And you know that word, boss B? Well, I've been hearing that so much about boss B, you know, the B word. Every female can't be a boss, you know what I'm saying? That goes back to everybody being queens and stuff. But it's like, yeah. And then a lot of them that consider themselves boss Bs, you know, a lot of them be getting taken care of by a man, or, you know, it's just various things. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't know. But what I think females, getting back to the chivalry and the female thing, just because you wear makeup, just because you wear a weave or a lace front or fingernails, get your nails done and get your eyebrows done and lashes and all that, those are the qualities of what a female do to dress herself up. But that don't make you a woman. That's a costume.
Yeah, a woman, you know what I'm saying? Goes deeper than that.
Yeah, when you a woman and you truly embody femininity and all that, you just be. You get what I'm saying? You just are. You ain't gotta go and spend all this money and all this high maintenance to consider yourself a woman. That's all a costume, you know. When you a woman, you live in your naturalness. Like, and for me being a hairstylist, I was one of those people that.
And that actually supposed to be just when you're planning on going somewhere, you know, for an evening out or something. That's what makeup and all that.
You can dress up.
Yeah, it's a ball, or back when they used to have balls and events. Not just your everyday.
It become an everyday thing.
Yeah, just stepping out of the household, you had to throw on all this makeup. That's why they have so many problems with their skin.
Yeah, cause we done seen a lot of chicks that wear that heavy makeup, and when you look close up at their face, it's a lot of stuff not right.
And now they're saying that and all this different stuff they doing now to make makeup lighter and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
shouldn't have to go through all that just to, you know, just to look pretty.
And what I'm gonna say,
you should be happy with how you look without makeup.
Yeah, if you are an entertainer, if you're on TV, if you're in front of lights and stuff, I can see that, because there's a certain image that comes with, you know, being on TV or being an entertainer or a host or a performer. I can see that, but in your everyday life, this is what you gotta do. Like, no, that means, I think if people feel like they gotta do that every day, then a lot of them don't like themselves. And then you got some females get chemical pills. Like, what in the heck is you doing to your skin? You getting a chemical pill? What you peeling? you peeling your blackness off? Like, you getting a chemical pill? Like
BBLs and Botox and.
It's a lot, man.
Too much.
It's a lot. But yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy.
But for the most of it, chivalry still exists. It's just that it's slowly fading away, because for far as the chivalry towards just being for a man being chivalrous to another man or a woman is done on, for me, it's done on a certain basis. I take it As what I see. If I think this, as far as a brother, I don't have a problem holding the door for another brother. But as far as a female, I hold the door open for women and children.
And it's like now, after reading what I read at the beginning of this episode, chivalry is not a gender biased thing.
That is very good to know.
Females.
Everybody's categorize it as
I didn't even know I was going.
Chivalry is the chivalry to a woman.
I had looked up the definition of chivalry, and it was long, but it's saying females are supposed to be chivalrous to men as well. So it's not a one-way thing.
And there is. Like I said, I had women open the doors for me. Young ladies.
I don't get no black women on open doors for me. It usually be Anglos or Spanish women. Them be the women that treat me the nicest. Like I said, needle in a haystack where I run into black women and I be like, oh, she's nice. I let them know and I thank them for being that way because they don't know what you go through. Because like in a regular day for me, if I deal with 10 black women, it's going to be one of them that I'm really going to get along with. The other 9, no, I'm going to say 2. It's going to be about 2 of them I'm going to get along with. The other 8, So you can imagine if I deal with 20 black women in one day, it's about 4 of them that I'm going to get along with, and the other 16, that's how it be for me. And it's like when I talk about this, or if you talk to this enough with certain other men, you see that there's a lot of other men that go through this as well, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I think, these people that's raising these daughters these days, man, y'all gotta, I don't know, some people gonna have to retweak what they doing because I think if you have like the situation I told you about when I was a kid and trying to, structure and discipline my sister, like if you have situations like that today where people not doing what they supposed to do to instill structure and discipline in these little girls, by the time they get grown, it's gonna be a whole nother story. It's gonna be a whole nother story. And it's like, with my childhood, with me making the decision that I made, even though maybe my sister probably said she moved on with her life, whatever the case is, I was the oldest child. So you might get situations where my mom used to be out and about a lot, you know what I'm saying? So she leave me there to watch her children. My sister had this thing where she just competed with me, she challenged me, she never listened to me. She'll snatch the front door open of the house and just jet out in the streets. And she'll be gone until my mama came back. And then if she really wanted to get under my skin, she'll come back to our house and she'll start throwing rocks at all of the windows. She just did a lot of bad stuff to me, and it's like, I never did anything to her, but whatever that thing is in her, I don't know. But yeah, it's like, I got to the point where it's like, if it's your sister and the energy is not well, you got to look at it for what it is, because you got a person that does not accept accountability for the things that they did wrong. No matter what happens, they're going to twist it and flip-flop it and try to make you the monster. No matter what the history dictates or what witnesses you have. So it's like, it's that way. It is what it is. It's family, and you either going to submit to it, or you either going to, you're going to ride with it, or you're going to be like, pause. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. But yeah, it's crazy, man. But yeah, y'all will get to know me more and more, throughout our podcast and our episodes. And I have no problem with sharing my experiences with people, because like the enlightenment that is falling upon me in my 50s is like, it's some powerful stuff. Like, it's like my eyes are like open. It's open. And I can understand now, how females get mad when like basketball players, they get big in basketball, and a lot of them marry Anglos, they marry white women or Asian women. Right now I can understand, because it's like, when I look at the races of females.
What was the football player name? Tay Diggs?
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Let me say this real quick. Yeah. When I look at the races of females, what I realize is that from my point of view, I'm not speaking for every man, and I'm not speaking about every black woman, but from my point of view, black women are the hardest women to get along with. You know what I'm saying? You can come and present good energy to them, and that, like I said, it's not all of them, but the majority that I've dealt with in my life, places I've been and things I've done, they've been the hardest to get along with. And yeah, my bad.
Want to give a shout out to Stefan Diggs.
Stefan Diggs.
And congratulations for your victory today.
Yeah.
I hope you feel vindicated.
Yeah.
I believe that you were innocent.
Yeah. We was watching the court channel. The football player Stefan Diggs was involved in a court case with his personal chef, where she had taken him to court, suing him with allegations of strangulation. Excuse me. She was suing him over various things, saying that he had slapped her, strangled her, and everything.
And they had other women to stand up in this corner and said that they didn't see anything, and then not to mention the videotapes of her dancing and everything, and it was just...
That said it all.
Yeah.
I'm happy he got vindicated.
That's
I'm
right.
happy he was found not guilty, because when me and Cam was looking at that show, we was pretty much predicting everything that was gonna happen from the female. When they put her on the stand, we're like, okay, yes, is she gonna cry? And everything we knew, because it's like everybody has a pattern, and it's like with women, there's a certain pattern. When she had the defense cross-examining her, and it got to the point of where everything she was saying, it told me that she was suing him emotionally and not logically.
That's right.
Cause the attorney asked her a question and she stopped. She gonna ask the attorney, "What is your name?" The judge is like, she's like, "No, I want to address you by name." No,
Yeah.
the attorney asks you a question, answer a question. But what I learned when females do that, they get off the subject, because I had that happen with females that were close to me. Well, we'll be talking about something and then they'll just say something that puts your mind on a whole nother page, and I'm like, wait, I can't open no chapter for this when we talking about this. Like, yeah.
Not to mention, she said he slapped her with his right hand on her right cheek.
Then when I heard that, I was like, yeah. He slapped her on the right side of her face with his right hand.
Then he put his hand around her throat and choked her.
And
Her
yeah,
arm around her neck and choked her. Some kind of...
this is the world that we live in.
Said he owed her money when he overpaid her.
This is the world. She thought that lady, I call it the lady thing. She thought that lady thing was going to work on her, because she went to court and she cried. And they come and present themselves trying to be pure, but we got to see her behind the scenes, how she was. And it's I don't know. It's something in the air that's like, it's got females imbalanced and entitled. And I'm going to say mostly black females. I'm pretty sure Anglos go through, because they got Karens and all of that too, but I'm focusing on what I deal with the most. You know what I'm saying? What I've been through the worst with. That's what, what I'm talking about. But I'm happy he had other black women that came and testified, saying that, they didn't see any, because she was bright skinned, they didn't see any. If he slapped, he got big hands. If he would have slapped her, it would have been swelling and discoloration. And he played football, so yeah, she thought that
he wasn't a tennis player. He wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't a swimmer.
He ain't played
chess or
Jeopardy.
He's a football player.
Yeah. But she thought that she was gonna win based on that lady thing. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't happen in her favor. And I'm happy that he won, because it's showing that in a lot of cases that it's still some type of fairness for men.
Can't take every crying female word over a man if it's going to be her word over his.
And she had even it was a police that had to testify, and whatever their office was set up to be, he usually have to talk to people through a smoked glass. And he said when he seen her in the lobby crying, he went out to her. So that was that damsel in distress thing, And
he still didn't see any bruising.
Yeah, he didn't see any bruises, but he went outside of what is normally done when you talking to people, you know what I'm saying? And it's this thing, and it's gonna get old one day where people gonna see females crying and they're not gonna, because the bad females is making it bad for the females that are really in distress. You got so many actresses out there, and I know them from my family firsthand. They act and they manipulate things to be a certain way, but they don't realize they're messing it up for themselves, because it's going to wear off, it's going to run out. And then it's like, what you going to do then? You going to kill yourself? Like, what you going to do? it's crazy. But yeah.
So let's leave this on a high note.
But yeah, we appreciate y'all listening to us again and again, and we'll be coming with another episode.
Probably tomorrow.
Hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, we'll be on the same note with that. And yeah.
Thanks for the cash apps and the likes, the shares and comments.
Yeah.
The donations, the hypes.
Yeah.
Hope everybody they're having a nice Cinco de Mayo, a safe Cinco de Mayo.
And yeah, hopefully our stories they help people navigate and they guidelines, and then some of the stuff we talk about, you know, people that's watching this, you can know, you know, it's probably some stuff that we said you're probably like, oh dang, you know, I'm familiar with that. So you're not alone in things, and it's, you know, a lot of things with this whole female thing that people need to talk more about, you know, and it's not all females that are bad, you know, but there are bad females on every level. And
And there's still some good women out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of good women out there, and we run across them, and I'll be so thankful. Like, it's like that kind of takes away some of the bad feelings, huh?
Just like it's good men out there.
There's a lot of good men out there, yeah. And like when we cross good females that are more balanced and woke, it take away some of the bad stuff that you went through, you know what I'm saying, with some of the other females. But yeah, it's crazy, man. But I see ultimately, I don't think things are going to get better. I think it's just going to keep running gung-ho. And I think it's going to get to the point where this whole entitlement thing that we have now with how a lot of black women have changed to be, I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of harsh awakenings, and it's going to create more and more separation as time goes on. I don't see it getting better. I just think once it's worn itself out and it's ran its course, I think something new gonna come after that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just gonna keep evolving. But yeah, a lot of this new female stuff is destroying a lot. Like the way a lot of men need females, a lot of females is operating in masculine energy, and it's throwing off the balance. But to each its own, you know what I'm saying?
Until next time.
Yeah. We'll see y'all next go round. I got it that time. There we go.
Freedom star. Freedom star.
Yeah.
Freedom star.
It's right here. It's epic.
Freedom star.
You ready? Let's rock.
Freedom star.
Stars.
Freedom star. Freedom star. Freedom star. Freedom star.
I got some things on my mind. Let me talk till I'm free. Mental therapy, whatever you wanna call it. There's been some things bothering me. I gotta break free. Time for me to finish what I started. I got my heart in it. Standing on 2 feet, 10 toes deep. Baby steps coming through, stumping hard. Whoever your God, whatever your beliefs, lifestyles retreat. This is the place where we all meet. We talking freedom. You best believe it. Energy from the stars, we receive it. Advice, some words ain't always nice. Suggestions, making statements, playing, saying, chiming, vibing, frequency high. Spirit contact, emotional climax. Forgiving, not forgetting, divine energy. Balance within, no path, ink, pens. Pull out a check, come on, let's chat for a minute. I'm here.
Freedom star. Freedom star. Freedom star. Freedom star. We're talking freedom. We read it. Eyes on the prize. We see it. We're rocking freedom.
Okay, yeah, this is the other thing I wanted to say. So it be stuff that, you know, after the episode is over, we'll come up with in our head. I wanted to link on to what I said as far as like when a parent ain't structuring their child the way that they could, and then they have another child, like their oldest child, that can play a part in helping them parent, which is what I was doing with my siblings, helping my mom. But my mom was always, you know, at a tug of war and combative with me. But like the times that I say, like when my mama be out running the streets, and you know she got me at home watching her 3 kids, and my youngest sister, the one that was not good to me, would just jet out in the streets. It's important for a parent to tell their children to mind and obey their oldest sibling, because when you think about it, when my sister ran out and jetted in the streets, and she'll be gone however long it took my mama to come back, my sister be out in the streets. So suppose while she was out in the streets, suppose she got kidnapped, suppose she got hit by a car, suppose she got raped, so many bad things, huh?
SA.
SA, yeah, great. We take that word back. We learn our lingo. Suppose she got, you know, SA, great. What about all of the different things? What if she would have came up missing or what's the other, unalived? All of that because, you know, you had a female child that was rebellious to her oldest brother that was always out for her own good, and then you had a mother that never told her female daughter, listen to your big brother. That was a lot of stuff my grandma always used to tell her, because when my sister disobeyed me, I always called my grandma and told my grandma what was going on, and my grandma would be like...
The thing with your mother was she was rebellious to her mother,
yeah,
which was your grandmother, and she was kind of probably was jealous that you were learning more from your mother than from her.
I can believe
and then
that.
You got to a point where you are more mature than your mother.
Mm-hmm.
From being raised by your grandmother, because you listened to the guidelines of your grandmother.
Yeah.
So your mother already felt like she felt like you were like beyond her with your maturity from learning from her mother.
Yeah, and it's like
so she was already rebellious to her mother.
To my grandma. So you hit that on the nail. Yeah, but yeah, I was just thinking about that. It's important for when you have a family structure to where you got an oldest child that's responsible, that's clean, that's neat, tidy, respectable. You have to tell your younger kids to follow that kid God and listen to them. When I'm not here, that person is in charge. My mama never did that. And the other thing I was going to say, when you have habits like that and they get set in stone, that female has to grow up. And I learned that a lot of females can be going through a lot of things and they always make it seem like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? But when you get a situation where you got a sister that gets involved with a man, you know what I'm saying? As crazy as it may seem, you still technically... somewhere down the line, you got to put your brothers first, because if that man go upside your head, who you gonna, what man you gonna run to come in and defend you? You get what I'm saying? So it's like if you, and we was talking about that with LaToya Jackson when she was married to that man. If you get with a man and you let him infiltrate your family and destroy whatever was hanging on by strings, or if you help him destroy, y'all a team with competing with somebody, so that whatever it is you after, it's a no-go. Because like I say, if that man mistreat that female, that young woman, that sister, you have to have your brothers. And if you're fortunate and blessed to have brothers, because all females don't have brothers, but that's the person that got your back if something go wrong with that. Other than that, whatever happens in that relationship with that man, you got to go through the motions and you got to act like everything is okay. And that's who want to live like that, you know what I'm saying? If somebody mistreats you, most females run to the men in their family, I think that's a common thing. But if you mess your relationship up with your man, then you just got to, you got to play with the hand of cards that you dealt yourself. It's just crazy.
You got some females that they have brothers, and then their brothers take her back with trying to protect her from her mate, and then they go to court, and then they're sitting there wondering if she's going to get on his side or their side, and they're in a court.
Don't let me talk about
So
that.
I've been there too.
Don't let me talk about that.
It wasn't me, but you know, I got brothers that
Yeah.
I only got 2 sisters.
Don't let me talk about
So
that. But it's just some of the things that happen in life you would never believe in a million years that happen. Yeah, then you got 2 sisters.
Yeah.
And I had 2 sisters too. You know, my sister Nika passed away.
And that's the thing about that is these women, these females would have whatever you want to call the men that they deal with, to the point where they act like they don't need their brothers until they need their brothers, and then it's like pulling teeth if you're trying to figure out what's going to happen next once the cops get involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or then once the cops do get involved, what's going to happen next, and then more than likely they're gonna always go back to the guy.
Yeah.
They're always going to go
crazy.
back to the guy. And they expect you to just, you you were there, but
it's crazy.
We're gonna work everything out now.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
you're just supposed to be there every time that happens.
And it's just like seeing things only for their benefit.
Yeah.
And that's unrealistic right there. It's unrealistic. But yeah, that had popped in my head with that situation. It's just, I think deep on things and I study things, and I think a lot of us need to be like that. And then, things that we did wrong to people that was out for our best interest, and when you know that somebody didn't do anything bad to you and you just were rebellious, you retaliate, you were combative, you was disrespectful, you was rude, you didn't want to cooperate. You owe that person an apology, but if you keep going gung-ho...
And a real apology.
Yeah, don't say if I did anything or if this or whatever I did. No, just say what it is. Look at it, own it, and say what the F it was. You know what I'm saying? Just plain and simple. And I get that more from females that don't accept accountability. It's like they don't face... Other than facing reality, they create this whole new facade of an illusion that they live in. And then they try to get people to believe that. And truth can never be erased. And a perfect example of truth not being able to be erased is the fact that we still discuss slavery these days. And that was hundreds and hundreds, maybe 400 years ago. So your lifespan ain't even that long for you to think that the lies that you tell are not going to resurface. If we still keep coming back to the reality of what slavery was, no matter how many times it's tried to get renamed and covered up and
people always constantly
reshaped it. Yeah.
Want to push everything back. That's the past.
Yeah.
You keep bringing up the past.
And anytime the past is not resolved, guess what? It's going to continue to be a problem for the present and the future if it's not resolved. If you did something wrong to somebody in the past knowingly, you know what I'm saying, and it was all intentional, apologize to that person. And in some cases, even if you did it and didn't really know what you were doing, you came to a realization later in life, apologies are, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed because what I've seen, I'm going to let it go so we can end this show, but what I've seen with most females, and my mom was like that too, it could be a situation where they did something wrong or they said something wrong, and then it's like they'll retwist and shape it and put it on you. And it's like, I used to be that person that accepted it, and then I look at myself and analyze myself, and I'd be like, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't say anything wrong. It's that person that's, what they call it, projection and deflecting. Yeah.
But then they still expect you to be the bigger person and accept the blame and move on with it.
And a lot of times when you are the bigger person and you accept the blame and move on with it, that makes that other person a worse person because that means they didn't own up to what it was. It
amplifies that negative energy that they have.
It's like, you feeding that demon. Yeah, you feeding the demon inside of them, and then it becomes to the point of where they think they invincible with that. But every dog has its day. And I'm gonna let that be what it is, and I appreciate you. Yeah. See y'all on the next go round. Hopefully tomorrow. Peace.